Today we're going to be installing a Do88 open air intake on my 2003 Saab 9.3. Super excited for this mod. Let me show you all what we need to do to get this installed, and let's get started. The Do88 intake is going to be replacing all of the factory parts between the airbox down to the turbo inlet. So this whole area right here is what we're going to be replacing. The Do88 kit comes with everything you see right here. So we have a couple of upgraded pipes, one of them aluminum, and then a upgraded silicone pipe. We of course have our heat shield, which is our most important part because we have an open air filter here. So the factory airbox and intake is technically already a cold air intake. So this is what we would call an open air intake. I want to clarify real quickly that I know that a lot of you out there have cone filters on your 9.3s that look like this, and you don't have any sort of heat shield. So definitely got a heat shield on there, because installing an intake like this without any sort of heat shield, you're just going to be sucking in hot air from the engine bay, and we certainly don't want to do that. So we have a heat shield here, as well as some just new clamps, hardware, miscellaneous little things that we'll explain as we get to them in the video, and then some seals that'll actually seal this between the motor mount and the hood, and make sure that we're not sucking in a ton of hot air from the engine. With that, let's head over here to the car and get started with removal. The factory airbox is held in by a few different rubber grommets that are bolted to the engine bay or just slide into grooves in the engine bay. So first thing I want to do is remove the mass airflow sensor right here. This is held in with two T20s, and that just pulls right out. I'm going to just leave that hanging down there for now. Next, I'm going to undo this clamp that connects our intake tube to the airbox. Pull this hose off. And now at this point, we can remove our whole airbox. So I'm just going to kind of manhandle this out of here. So I'd like to mention that this video has been sponsored by Do88. If you need any sort of aftermarket parts for your Saab when it comes to intakes, intercoolers, intercooler piping, radiator hoses, any sort of upgraded hoses or things like that for your Saab, or any car for that matter, make sure to check out Do88. I have their intercooler on my car already. Recently we installed their intercooler piping as well, which is just out of frame over there. Great upgrades, very high quality parts. Would really recommend checking them out. But that, you can see, we can get the whole airbox out in one go. Next, we need to remove this final intake tube, which just is kind of S-shaped and goes down to the turbo. And let me quickly show you all what cheap silicone versus quality silicone looks like. This is just a cheap little piece I picked up secondhand a few years ago. You can see how pliable that is, whereas the Do88 piece, much firmer. So that's going to hold up much better to higher boost, and just kind of a good example of what I was just talking about. But with that in mind, I'm going to unplug our couple of vacuum lines right here. There's one here, and then there's a second down here. They should just be a hose clamp, and they should pull right out. And then there's also going to be a hose clamp down here on our turbo, which I'm going to remove as well. Drop the hose clamp on the ground, but there is our old intake tube off. I want to quickly talk about a couple of nuances with this kit. First off being what to do with secondary air injection, and second off, what to do depending on your model year. If you have a 2003 9.3 like myself, you probably have a plastic tube coming up around here that plugs into the airbox. I had my secondary air injection, you can see the pump right there, removed via a tune years ago. So I actually removed that line and plugged that cap in the video that you can see right here, because it was just a pain in the butt and the line broke. However, if you do still have that line, which I assume most of you do, and your SAI is not tuned out, you can just simply leave that line there, put a little filter on it or something else. Don't plug it because it's being used, but you will just want to leave that there. There's nothing in the Do88 kit that accounts for that. Second is your model year. If you go to Do88's website and you look up this kit, you'll see it says 2005 onward. My car is a 2003, of course. 2003 onward all have the 2.0, same 2.0, same general engine. However, one key difference between the 03, 04, and 05 onward is this motor mount. So this motor mount is a little bit different on 03 and 04 cars. I replaced this motor mount relatively recently, and so I've put the heat shield in here to kind of test fit it. And from what I can see, I think it's actually going to fit in here without any modification. But if you do have an 03, 04, this kit will work for you. You just might need to modify the heat shield here. What I want to do though to confirm I don't have to modify it at all is pull this back out, put all of the weather stripping on it from the kit, and then reinstall it and see how it fits. We have 3 separate weather stripping and sealing pieces here. We have 2 that are the same. One is a little bit over 1 meter long and one is about 1/3 of a meter long. And then this thinner one. We are likely going to have to make some cuts here around these sharp turns especially, but it fits in there pretty easily. Now you might be wondering, well, if this is an open air intake and I need to have this heat shield, it can't possibly help my performance. And well, you'd be partially right. To be fully honest, these higher, quality piping is going to help if you're making a lot more boost. However, in terms of actual performance and power gain, this is mostly more of a, I would at least say, a cosmetic and sound mod, because with this open air filter, we're going to get some really awesome sounding turbo noises. So we're going to get a good before and after clip, which is just going to be awesome. I can't wait to do that when we have this installed. It's going to make a whole lot more noise. So off camera, I'm going to finish up doing all of this, and then I'll catch up with you all when we're ready to test fit it back in the car. Here's my finished result. We cut this into 2 pieces, this big piece and the second piece went here. The only cut I made in the big piece as far as corners was right on this corner down here. Then we did this one right here. I had to cut it just a little bit off, maybe a 1/2 inch or so off, just so that way that would fit in there. And then this one was a little tough, had to do a lot of cuts, and then I also used some super glue on some of these corners, so a little dab of it just to help make it stick, because there's no way it was going to stick without any sort of adhesive. All right, let's test fit it, see if it'll work without any modification. I guess at this point, well, I've already super glued this on, so I better hope it does. Last thing I'm going to do is grab these 2 little rubber bushings that are on the stock air box, because we're going to reuse these. It's that piece in. And then this one right here is fighting me. I'm calling that test fit a success. So our next step is going to be installing our mass airflow sensor onto the new intake. If you open up this bag, you'll see there's a couple things here of note. First off is some nice new hardware for our mass airflow sensor, and then a new O-ring as well. So this is a different size O-ring than the factory O-ring that's on here, so we're going to swap that out. And if you have a manual car, you'll need to use this plug because you were missing one of those vacuum plugs earlier. So if you have a manual, you plug this into the port on here that doesn't have a vacuum line. However, mine does because it's an automatic. Pull this old O-ring off, put our new O-ring on, and then slide that there. Nice tight fit, which is what we want for a good seal. Starting with the silicone, this side's going to go on the turbo, and I have a hose clamp on here we're going to tighten down as well. Little thing to note about this tube, you can see there's a part on here where it can kind of bottom out on the turbo, so you really want to make sure this is fully seated on the turbo before tightening it the rest of the way. With the way that this is set up, I think it's going to be easiest to kind of slide this through here to start. And it's only going to slide through about that much, because it's going to be hard to maneuver this pipe with the air shield in, and it's going to be hard to maneuver the air shield with the pipe in. So I think that's going to be the best route forward here. All right, so we are into the turbo tube. Now let's just get this fitted the rest of the way. This older style motor mount definitely makes it tough, but we do have it in there pretty good. That's not fit in there 100% full disclosure, but this thing's not going anywhere. It's wedged in there pretty good. There is also a nub on the bottom of this intake pipe that you want to make sure that is seated inside there. But with that, I need to tighten this hose clamp. I need to plug in my couple of vacuum lines. There's one here, and then don't forget about that one under there. And we can plug in our MAF and install our filter. Everything has been reconnected and plugged in. This line on the underside here can be a little tough to get to, so what I did is I put the supplied hose clamp pointing up like this on here, and then used an extension with a 1/4 inch and was able to tighten that clamp that way. But our air filter from BMC, made in Italy, kind of cool. Now, you might notice this filter is red, and to be 100% honest with you, I was really hoping there'd be a different filter option. The red at first glance honestly looks pretty good in the engine bay. If you have other red parts or you have a red car, I think it works really well. When you buy this kit from Do88, you do have the option to buy it without a filter if you want to source your own filter that's a different color. But honestly, this red filter looks better than I thought it would in here. Considering the rest of my engine bay is pretty monotone, that's looking really good. So I'm going to clean up and let's see how this thing sounds. Take it for a drive, because that's going to be the best part, is hearing this open air intake while we're driving. But first, here's some before revs for comparison. That was my first time hearing this, and that sounds incredible. Let's take it for a quick drive before we end this video. Driving the car now, yes, I know I need an alignment, but let's talk initial impressions. First off, one thing I want to address: intake air temperature. So this is a very important thing when you're considering doing a modification like this, and why, again, the importance of a heat shield is critical. So right up there, we have our intake air temp of 113 with an ambient that's fluctuating, or ambient temperature, excuse me, in the bottom left there, that's fluctuating between 96 and 100 degrees. So how does this compare to the stock air box? Well, I'll say when compared to the stock air box, and keep in mind that I just hopped on the highway. The car has been idling for probably 20 minutes while I cleaned up. So compared to stock, I would say that's maybe just a little bit warmer, but not much warmer. The best I've seen with stock is an ambient air temperature basically 5 degrees less than the intake air temperature. So to be within 15 degrees or so with having the car just sitting and idling and just hopping on the freeway, I'd say that's pretty good. That's really not bad at all. So of course your intake temps are not going to drop with a modification like that. That should be expected, but I think that goes to show that if I had no heat shield on, that temperature would probably be already up to 130, 140 degrees, which you would really feel that performance-wise, especially in a hot climate like this. But let's real quick show you guys how this thing sounds under throttle. Hopefully y'all can pick that up on camera. You can hear a really, really loud whistle under throttle, and then of course as soon as you let off, you hear that whoosh. Again, really hot out, so performance isn't the best. Let's go one more time here. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. This is just one of those sounds that's hard to convey over camera. And I'll say that, well, you can really, really hear it in the car. Even just a little bit of throttle. Doesn't take full throttle. Just a little bit of throttle and you can hear that pretty well. So that is awesome. A big thank you to Do88 for sending these parts out, sponsoring today's video. You can check them out, linked at the top of the description below, for any of your Saab cooling and some of your performance needs. If y'all are interested in helping support the channel more, I've got some really cool merch you can check. That is linked down below as well. If you found this video informative and helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.